What up, farm? How you going? We're here on the nitro, just letting it warm up. We're about to head up to my farm. Today's an exciting day because we're going to start sowing the wheat. We've got to spray it with a double knock first and the pre-emergent, and then we'll get the seeder set up and we'll be into it. Let's go. Whoops. Alright, so I've switched cameras because I accidentally left my good camera up here in the tractor, but now I've got it. What we started on was the old camera. Anyway, I've got this box here, which is a box of camera bits. It is commonplace now that people have cameras in their air seeder box. And that's to see how much product, how much wheat or fertilizer or whatever you're sowing has come out of the box. Dad went to town on Friday and I told him, oh, if you want to, you can get some. So we're going to see how easy it's going to be to put them in, and maybe we'll put them in. Alright, so we got magnets for the cameras to mount on so that we don't have to drill holes and stuff. I'm not going to do it today, I've decided, because it's just a bit much going on and it's working how it is. We might do it once we're finished here. This tab just here, this plug goes inside the tank, and it is the old sonar type thing, supposed to reflect, shoot a signal down and reflect back to it and measure how much is left in the tank. It's never worked for us, it just beeps all the time. So I'm going to disconnect them and run the cable through there, because that hole will be about the right size. We've got a rubber grommet here which should seal that up all right. So the cable will go in the bottom and then hook onto the camera up the top. We've got 3 cameras, one for each bin, and then one that we're going to position about here somewhere, which will see this back drive roller spinning and the front drive roller spinning, which we can also turn around and point out the back for a reversing camera while we're going down the road. So see how it all turns out. It'll be pretty awesome when we get it all set up. I'm looking forward to it. Alright, so I lied. I decided I was going to take these old ones out and put cameras in. While the box is empty, I wanted to take my chance, because it might not be empty for a while again. It's a bit rough, that sealing stuff, but hopefully it'll seal. One in the front box, one in the back box. Yeah. There's the camera. Goes down there through that white hole. Just down there. These cameras have LEDs in them instead of infrared lights. So what that will mean is that we should be able to see in colour in the boxes, hopefully, because the LED will light up the grain and make it all show up good. Unfortunately, those cameras won't be working for this paddock, or not today anyway, because the cable that goes from the cameras into the back of the ag leader screen is in my tractor, which is still at the olive farm, which is, I don't know, a good half-hour drive away, and I'm not driving out there just to pick it up. Getting that double knock and pre-emergent out, so we got gramoxone and SureCROP and Treflan and Avadex in this. That's just to knock, the gramoxone is to knock any weeds that are still a bit green. The SureCROP will stop any ryegrass coming up or limit the number of ryegrass. The Treflan will stop the hogweed from coming up, and the Avadex should stop the brome grass and wild oats, hopefully. So yeah, she's a fair mix, but it does a good job. And all right, we got it all all finished, all done. We're gonna head home, have a bit of lunch, pick up some wheat and come back and set the air seeder up. So this year we've teamed up with Lawrie Co to do a trial using SureCROP VAM. We're going to treat half of the wheat paddock with this and half without, and see what difference it makes in the yield at the end. So, what have we got here, Harry?
So this is the actual inoculum that we use for the VAM. So it's a two-part product, and we keep it that way so that you've got a bit more shelf life out of it. This is the actual mycorrhizal fungi, the Bacillus subtilis, the trichoderma, those sorts of things. So that's what's in here. We mix this up into a nice bit of paste, and we're going to mix it with the actual SureCROP VAM, which is essentially the fungi food and those sorts of things. So it's up here.
Cool. Very good. What's in this stuff, Rodney?
Well, it's a complete seed treatment, so it's all the minerals that the plant needs for establishment, as well as a whole lot of different ranges of biostimulants, and then the biology. So they all come together to give you a complete package.
Yeah, fantastic. And if we were using pickled seed, which we're not going to, we would put this stuff on as a buffer to help protect the fungus from the fungi. Is that right?
To protect the fungus from the fungicide. So,
I don't know what I'm talking about. These guys are the professionals.
Yeah, so a couple of 100 mils a ton of the F75 in with the VAM when it's a pickled product that you're treating.
Fantastic. And then you just shake it up and put it on through the auger.
That's it.
What rate are we aiming for?
We're aiming for 10 litres a ton on wheat seed. So we'll see how we go.
Cool.
So how'd the season go last year, Mark?
There we go.
Okay.
Ready to go. So we got the wheat from the truck into the box, got the fertilizer in too, got the calibration drum and bag under here. We're going to weigh it, and this time we're not going to look at the pounds, we're going to look at the kilos. Alright, so we're all calibrated, We got 80 kilos of wheat going on and 82 kilos of Enrich 22, which is 15 parts MAP and 22 urea, I think, something like that. Just went over to the ute, grabbed the drone in case I want to go for a fly. We're going to fold it out, have a test. Way up there, Rodney and Harry from Lawrie are doing some soil tests. The soil tests that they do will kind of be like benchmarking to see what the soil's like before the VAM goes on and then what it's like after, because VAM will improve the yield, or should improve the yield, but it also does a whole lot of stuff under the ground. Into the wheat in a very big canola stubble. That looks like a block just in there. Might come through, who knows. This is going through really well actually. It's very satisfying having all that canola stubble standing up. It's probably helping that it's reasonably dry. There is some moisture underneath, but I doubt that it'll come up on this. It'll need a rain. Yeah, but it's really satisfying going through this tall stubble. Flash bit of driving here. Look at that. Look at that there. That's nearly up to the frame. That is on the frame. Wow. It's going through really good. It doesn't always go like this. This here is our one of our dams that we filled in back earlier on in the year. Good to get a good knockdown on the weeds on here. Yeah, it's going in really nice on here. The soil's nice and loose, so it's going in good. Alright, we've been home and had some tea. We're back into it for a while. The kids are asleep in bed. Happy days. Going good. This is the first pass, and so far the canola stubble seems to be going through alright, even with these cooler conditions that we're in. So if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that, or you might know that I have dreams of being on control traffic at some stage. If you don't know what control traffic is, it's when you try and line up, or you don't try, you line up every piece of machinery to the same width or multiples of that width, so that you're leaving the minimum amount of wheel tracks in your paddock, thus minimizing compaction. That's one of my goals in the near future, is to transition our farm to a control traffic operation. There's a few things that have to go into place to do that. So the nitro, it's 36 meters. I think that's a pretty standard width. So multiples of 36 meters really. The most common one is 12 meter header front, 12 meter seeder, and 36 meter sprayer. They go in 3 to 1. We need everything really. We need a 12 meter header front, we need a 12 meter seeder, and we need a tractor that's on 3 meter centers. So we've got a bit of ground ahead of us, but it's good to have a goal to work towards. It's probably not worth selling all of our gear and buying straight into the gear that we exactly need to get to control traffic, because control traffic's not really going to provide us that much extra income. But it is worth making strategic investments when we get the opportunity. Yeah. But what I was gonna say is, sowing in this canola stubble really is showing me how much of our ground we are compacting. Like, you look here, those lines out there, that's where the windrower went. There's a lines, sort of, one's lined up and one's not. That's where we drove when we were spreading the gypsum. The sprayer it lines up between them because I didn't line up my windrowing tracks. The tractor's sort of half on that track and making its own one. The gaps in the joules are perfectly run down by the back tyres on the air seeder box. The gap between the tractor tyres is perfectly run down by the joules on the front of the air seeder box. These tyres at the front of the seeder are out wider than the edge of the joules, so they're running down more. There's a lot of compaction happening. Now, there would be an argument to say that probably we're doing all right because we're spreading our compaction over more area, but I like the idea of focusing the compaction into one spot. Yeah. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, so comment down below. Do you do it on your farm? Do you know anyone that does it? It's starting to become more common practice, and I really like it. It satisfies the neatness about farming that I like. Well, I think we've hit our point. The dew must be coming in because it is just blocking up now. I was going to pull out of here anyway and go and do the lentil stubble over there. Do my VAM seed dressing trial in there. But yeah, I've got no choice, so I have to now because there's another block over there. It's just not going to work doing this while it's this cold. Hopefully tomorrow it'll warm up a bit and we'll get on a bit better tomorrow afternoon. I've had enough of your beeping! That is driving me crazy! We got plenty of wire weed in patches. Anywhere that we didn't harvest any lentils, there's heaps of wire weed, heaps of ryegrass straw. Yeah, it'll take some time to sow it. We will get blocked up, but it'll still be quicker than disking it, I think. Anyway, it's alright. There's still plenty of it holding in the ground. It's just when you get unlucky. Oh, that one's steel. That's enough for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. She is foggy this morning. I made the decision to just come straight out to the olive farm and pick up the camera cable to plug the cameras into the back of our in-command 1200 screen. It got a bit blocky last night in the paddock. Everything was blocking up when it started to get cold, so we'll have to wait for this fog to dry off. The sun will have to come out and dry everything off a bit before we'll really get sowing, I think. So taking this opportunity to set the cameras up so that we can properly use them. Alright, we're back seeding again. We filled up the air seeder. We put the rest of the wheat in that's been treated with the VAM seed dressing. We also filled up with fertilizer, and I set up the cameras. So now we have cameras, but only one's working. This is the one in the wheat bin, just so we can see when it's run out. The other cameras are there, but they're just not hooked up because I mismeasured and we didn't have enough cable. So Dad's running to town. He's going to grab a couple more cables, and hopefully this afternoon we'll have all of them on. Anyway, it's going good. We don't seem to be blocking up as much now, which is quite nice. It's yeah, going good. There's the other dam that we filled in as well. We sowed over it. It looks really good. Much better as part of the paddock rather than the dam. Still sowing along. We're up to 16 hectares in here, and you can see the edges of the box starting to show, so we're getting low on wheat, which is good. We ended up with 17.5 hectares in that other paddock on the VAM seed trial, so we'll probably end up with a little bit more in here, but that's alright. Yeah, anyway, that's really handy having that camera there. I'll be able to run it right out, which will be good. None of this stopping and walking back to the box to see how much is in there. Alright, we better go and scrape all that side in. There was more over this side when we started. Scrape it all in so that we make it down the other end. Gosh, it's dusty in there. Oh, I forgot to show you. Those are the LED lights that are on the camera. That shows, lights up the bin so you can see what's in there. Still got some fertilizer too. Very good. While we're out of the tractor, we may as well have a bit of a dig around and see if we can find any wheat seeds. It's going to be hard because they're very dark with that treatment on them. I know it's coming out. There's a fertilizer that's right on the top. Oh, there's one. There. So we've got our ag leader dig it. I'd say we're probably maybe 40 mils. It's pretty good, I reckon, because it's down on the moisture. It's a bit dry on top here, but there is moisture underneath, so hopefully it might come up, but give it a week or so and we'll see what's going to happen. Well, we got it all run out. We didn't quite make it down to this end, but yeah, it's all out. Now we got to take the little truck back and pick up some untreated wheat to finish off this paddock. Here's one for you red guys out there. Nice looking rig. Alright, we just put our untreated wheat in. Dad got back from town. We've got some more 5-meter cables for the other cameras, so we'll put them on. Just got to have a look up in the box and see if we need to put any fertilizer in. Yeah, seeing as though we're going full box of wheat, I reckon we will put it in. That needs to be open. Move that over there. Good to go. Just need to switch trucks. This thing is like a dream to steer versus that old weapon. Oh my goodness, so easy. I've just put a drum out there that lines up to where I got to with the VAM seed trial. It's all recorded on the GPS, where it starts and where it finishes, where the control is and where the trial site is. But just for easy reference, when we're driving past, so we can just have a quick look, I put the drums there and it'll be interesting to watch it. Hopefully I'll be able to get a bit of a look at it and update you further on the difference that it's making. Time for a crank test and then we'll be into it. Very good, we're good to go. Alright, we're going through this canola stubble. I'd like to get this done before it gets wet or damp tonight in the dew, before it gets damp and cold. The other paddock will go better when that happens. Yeah, these are the cameras that we've got. So this is number 3. These are the drive rollers, which connects the transmission box sort of thing to the meter roller on that side. if they're spinning, products coming out. This screen's been beeping front and rear shaft like they haven't been spinning sporadically. So I wanted to put this camera here so that we can see what's going on. So I can see that this shaft's spinning. If you look just over here, you can sort of see that that shaft's spinning as well. So I know that they're both turning around. Number one is our front box, our fertilizer. Number two is our back box, our wheat. Our wheat that has vetch in it. So, broadleaf spray is definitely in order this year. We didn't get to it last year, and yeah, we struggled to get it into the silos. But anyway, we'll definitely get it on this year, otherwise we'll have big troubles. But these cameras are very, very good. I like it. It's going good. Taken over from me there. He's going to drive it to finish off this canola stubble before it gets too cold tonight. I'm going to the pub for tea with my in-laws, and I'll be back later on to do some more out on the lentil stubble out there. Alright, finished tea at the pub. Been back out here for a while, just filled up with fertiliser because we were not going to make it. Pulled the truck out of the paddock. I think we've got enough wheat to make it, but we'll see. We've only got to make it across to that fence and then do the headlands on either end. And that should be it. It'll be interesting to see how we go. I got more done with the seed dressing in this paddock than what I thought. So there's about 17 hectares in this paddock that's done with VAM seed dressing, and about 21 I think in that paddock. So anyway, it's alright. I wasn't going to, but I think I'll stay here and finish it off tonight, and then we can move on to the next paddock in the morning. There we go, that's the end of it. All of my weight is in. We just got to go on to Dad's now and get his in. Still a bit of wheat left in there. Still quite a bit of fertiliser, so the fertiliser didn't go on quite as heavy as what well, no, it went on. The fertiliser went on how I'd planned because it's calibrated right. I just must add more fertiliser than what I thought because we were estimating how much was in the truck to start with. Anyway, it's alright. Dad will just have to buy some of that off me. Anyway, it's in. It's just after midnight, 12:40, Wednesday the 17th of May. It's time that I went home and had a sleep.